Hey guys, this is Matt Core from Ctrl+Paint.com, and today I'm going to talk about the idea of expressiveness. Because the first place that many artists will start drawing people from is from a sense of anatomy. And anatomy is great, it's good for structure, but it doesn't really tell a story. And what we connect to as viewers is expression. Whether it's body language or facial expressions, these are what tell us about the people we interact with. And as an illustrator, it's up to you to convey that sort of information through your characters. And that means when it comes to storytelling, the hierarchy has to begin with emotion, and then structure is further down the list. And one of the ways that you can study this is by looking at cartoons. Because here are some drawings from the Disney animator Glenn Keane. And you can see here that these are amazing. He has an awesome ability to distill these characters down to the essence of the gesture. There's no extraneous information. It is all about telling the mood, telling the story. And so the features that are there are very exaggerated. And this is a great type of subject matter to study. And when you do copies like this, you're probably not going to be too pleased with the results. Because let's face it, you're copying a master. But what it allows you to do is take some time to study expression. Because when you compare this with a photograph, this gives you a lot less information, which for studies is great. You're only going to see the necessary gesture, and you're not going to be distracted by all the other photographic detail. I think another great source for this are Pixar movies. If you've ever seen a Pixar movie, you know that their facial and body language is fantastic. You could watch a Pixar movie on mute and it would be just as good. So really, any frame from these movies is fantastic study material. And just like I've talked about with gesture drawing in previous videos, keep these loose. The whole idea is to capture mood and expressiveness. And you can't really do that too well if your mark making is very slow and calculated. So make long, expressive lines. Erase if you have to. This is all about a feeling. And even when you're studying somebody else's drawing, you still need to imbue it with feeling. Sometimes it's hard to draw a smile if you're not making a smile while you draw it. So my guess would be that you all have some favorite movies that you would recommend. And I'd love to hear about them in the comments. Now, I personally have a sort of Western focus. It seems to me that the Western animation sensibility uses exaggeration more so than Japanese animators. There's a lot of beauty in Japanese animation, but I find that if what you want to learn is expression, that you might want to work from American animation. Now, if you want to work on backgrounds, that would be a totally different story. Well, what if you want to do realistic characters? You might be thinking, well, these are great if you want to be cartoony, but it has nothing to do with what I'm working on. Well, I'd argue that it does. Because if you want your realistic characters to look good, they still need to be expressive. And from my experience, it can be a great starting point to begin with the most expressive, the most exaggerated, and cartooning is great for that. And then bit by bit, you pull it back, rein it in, and make it more realistic. But in the process, you've still captured the mood. Your characters are still emoting with their body language and their facial expression. And this is going to make your realistic characters read better. They're somehow going to look more realistic because they are expressive. So go rent some Disney movies or Pixar and take some screenshots. This is reference gold. So good luck, and thanks for coming to the site, guys.